Okay, I guess that's working. Okay, I guess that's working. I guess that's okay. Welcome to the first member activist meeting of 2018. We're doing live broadcasting to YouTube, and HJ, who normally runs this meeting, is traveling today, so he asked me to jump in. So I'm using his account, and I think everything is figured out, and we're working and rolling now. The agenda, I actually copied some of it from last time, and if anybody had, then we have some empty spaces down here. Just let me know in the chat or something. And kind of busy where I'm at. Oh, that's Patrick. Okay, and you can ping me in the chat, assuming I see it. So Happy New Year, and well, we're off to a good start. The rocks are on the KuCoin exchange, and we got a major plug in a video from Ian Molina, which caused the price to rally. And so we're now at like $2.13 or something the last time I checked. So anybody who invested in either of the pre-sale rounds has got to be happy. But a lot of people like Mervyn and myself, we think it's excessive, and we're hoping that it comes back down a bit and we can have a more organic growth as opposed to these skyrocketing rallies, because usually when it rallies, then it comes back down pretty hard to a 60% level or something. So we'll see, but you can watch it on CoinMarketCap and World Coin Index, which is where I pulled this price from.
Yeah, and on that day that he gave that shout out, I don't know where I shared this, but our website got hit with, I believe it was exactly 16,280 new users on that day. new IPs. That was insane. Like, and we lost connection for a second on the website. So we're obviously working on that stuff server side once we get the new website up and running. But that was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, well, apparently he has a lot of followers, and that generated a lot. And we also have a lot of activity in the Chinese community, and that was happening simultaneously. So there was a whole bunch of push, but that sudden surge in users on the website, that could be that we were the problem with, what's the name of the service that had the problem? Not Cloudflare, but the other one. For a while, our site went down partially. Yeah, because of problems on one or another service or something. That could have been our load that caused it. So yeah, Patrick, we'll have to keep an eye on that, like Meta said in the Discord. And if we expect surges like that, we should try to prepare so we can write this up as a good learning curve.
Right. Yeah. And those types of activities are underway. I believe his name is Jeremy, who's actually working specifically on that, and he's going to be working with Dan, who's kind of our DevOps. Wait. Hopefully I'm getting the names right. Forgive me if they're wrong, but yeah, Dan from DevOps is also going to be working on that too. So all that stuff is definitely being taken care of. And as we line up the website releases for January, that backend stuff's going to be taken care of as well. So we'll be able to handle loads like that in the future, most certainly. So it was cool. It was totally unexpected. I had no idea we were going to get that shout out, but yeah, we should prepare for some of those things in advance.
Okay, good. Well, yeah, on the optimistic side, I hope we have more of those type of things. And it would be good to be prepared for that, especially as releases come out, because that was also a contributing factor, the fact that we have new news and announcements and things. We could walk through this list, or we could move through the people. Anybody want to do an update?
I'll do just a super quick one because the space I'm in right now, but more of the same. I just published the newsletter today. It's giant, speaking to Kit Blake's point about lots of news lately. That if you see the latest newsletter, it's the biggest ever, and it's packed full of information. Most of it, if you're already paying attention, you already know about, so there's nothing breaking per se in this one, but it's really cool that we're having all this type of activity. I also just got off a call with Lisa and Lawrence, and we're working through the last little bits of the marketing budget. So that's awesome. And we've already geared up and are working on, we have contractors now available, and we're going to have funds allocated specifically towards the community program as well too. So that's going to be cool. We're just trying to figure out exactly how to maintain just enough oversight in a way that we can make sure we're spending against our milestones and actually adding value to the co-op. So that's cool. Logo design is going to be finalized this week. It seems like we're all getting good consensus on that. Thank you so much, Kit, for all of your valuable input, but specifically what you're doing in the logo design thing. It's cool. This has been ongoing for quite some time now, and it is awesome to see that. I really like that. I really like where it's heading, and I'm ecstatic for this new update on all of our social media images, all of the websites, and it's gonna be a real big splash by the end of January. So that's amazing. Let's see. Updated the GitHub reference repo, and we're gonna start to nest everything we can as Markdown into GitHub. Navneet's been leading that, and I'm going to start, it's a weekly task for me now to update reference, update FAQ, update weekly debrief index, and then we have some other ones like the newsletters in Markdown, finances, rock distribution, a bunch of that stuff. So essentially we're consolidating all of the information into these GitHub pages that'll be really easy to reference. Yeah, Kit's got them up there, and that's nice. Let's see. I don't have my Trello up right now, but I'll just cut it off there. I'll leave it fairly at that today. Keep it quick. Does anybody else have any other updates?
Gary, Peter.
I'm sorry. Let me cut back in one more time because I think Jake is still on here. Jake published this post, and we actually have three or four posts that got published this month, so that's awesome. Jake did the summary for the day one of the RChain Developers Retreat, and that's gotten some great attention, and it's much needed for people that learn better through reading, and also he fleshes it out really good in that, and Kit doing a great job. I have it pulled up already. So that's awesome, and obviously we're looking forward to more of those, and as much content as Jake is willing to put out. I know he's got plenty of opportunities with RChain otherwise, so we're happy to have him helping educate the community with that. Also, there was he just entered the Discord. His name is Rainman. He published The Adventures in Row Calculus. That was sick. That was completely autonomous. Like those are the type of phenomenal moments that are hard to account for or hard to anticipate, but they they mean we're growing sustainably. And then to that point, Giotto, who's also, he's an active member contributor in GitHub. You'll see him sometimes. He just, I saw this morning, published a Medium article about RChain and scalability. So that was sick. And then we had the scheduled publishing of the Future of Blockchain Consensus by Michael Birch, who is he's on the core team and he's working on Casper, and that got a lot of attention. So yeah, a few Medium articles. You know, it's already we're doing pretty well. All of our social metrics are going through the roof right now, especially after that announcement and the coin market cap spike. But yeah, feel free every time we post one of those things, please engage with it, share, like, comment, you know, all that call to action. So that was cool. And then okay, I'll wrap up now. I can talk for a long time.
Okay, Patrick, if you could post those links, I was trying to find them in my history, but I didn't bookmark them. And I know they're posted on Discord somewhere, but if you post them here, then we'll have them in the record as well. That article, Reimann, and that was an entertaining read. So everybody should have a look at that. And the one from Giotto, I haven't seen yet, but I'm curious about it. Here comes one, okay. Yes, this is the one I read yesterday, which is a very entertaining read. And the guy obviously has some experience put it into play. And Giotto, yeah, he's not here, but he also published something that is notable that we can have a look at. So yeah, thanks. Anybody else have interesting links, post them in the chat, and then we'll get them in the recording so people who watch the recording can then click on the links instead of staring at a screen that's not moving. Anybody else want to chime in?
Well, I could say that on the Social Ledger project, we have onboarded several folks over the last week or two, and they're interested in development, the PHP development part of the project, which should help us with our user authentication and identity solution through things like UPort and OAuth. But the exciting part is once we get that out of the way, we can start to work on the dig when command, which should really cause things to take off as far as empowering users to interact in these spaces like Mattermost and Discord and Telegram. And along those lines, if anybody is interested in working on the port of the Social Ledger to Discord, we sure could use some help there. But that's all I can think of to say about the Social Ledger just now.
Yeah, to continue there a little bit, there's a large number of social learning channels that we want to set up. I guess one has to do with the colloquium that's being set up for governance. But, you know, currently the noob work study, we've onboarded a couple of people learning, which is good. You know, they're doing something useful while they're learning, and it's pretty exciting. Now, one guy is very good in learning really quickly other ones very slow, but we're sort of formulating the onboarding process of getting people who want to be in a social learning environment can contribute to things that we need as a collective. And, you know, my hot buttons are using Rolang to program the social ledger. And we're looking to do that on RChain and trying to set up social learning dates and times for that effort, as well as the identity, the decentralized identifier directory that is a harness, so to speak, for our self-sovereign identities, as they will be on RChain, model now on other medium. But there's a lot of anything anybody wants to learn. Let's do a social learning session where we get something accomplished for the cooperative.
Yeah, I was just pulling up the log from the identity session. Are interested in participating or learning more. Last time we had Raymond join us, and it turned into a really interesting meeting. And oh, that diagram is in a different doc, huh? Okay, well, some of the work that had been done.
Click on the RChain doc at the top there, the RChain new blog. We're split between the two logs. Just click on the link. Yeah. But,
okay, so yeah, people who are interested, this is what's happening. Well, not really, but okay. And yeah, Gary, I've seen your tests in the test channel on Discord, so it's obvious that you're trying stuff.
Yes, and it looks like it shouldn't be that big a deal. It's not going to look exactly the same, but we're going to get the real meat of the social ledger project, and that's much more important than cosmetics.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and I onboarded 2 colleagues that I've worked with for 30 years on, some big successful projects, and hopefully they can contribute to the identity effort. Although we really need, just some people to deal with the details of getting OAuth to work, so that we can work on the big directory and other things that aren't so much system management functions. People who want to learn about it.
I'm sorry. When are the social ledger work studies again? Tuesdays?
Yeah, Tuesdays are. There were like 4 meetings on Tuesday. I could only attend 2 of them, but they all show up for me on the Google Calendar, Patrick. I'm not sure if I'm not really up on the calendar, but I think if you click on the link, you should see all of the DiviDAO meetings anyway, and then some of them are listed as social ledger.
Yeah, if you can get the calendar.
Can you drop it in the chat?
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah, that's a good point. It really would be nice to have one, centralized calendar that has all the stuff that's going on, because I keep putting stuff in my own personal company calendars and things, and yeah, forgetting things or missing stuff. And I have subscriptions to one Google Calendar, which I think is run by Jim, and that has some stuff, but it's all kind of fractured. And if we can, yeah, use one centralized calendar, but subscribe or collect stuff that's going on from other things, that would be a really nice asset to have for the cooperative.
Yeah, I don't believe I created the RChain calendar that the Google Calendar that some of us are using. I know a number of people have been added as managers to that calendar, but I don't think anybody's managing it.
Okay.
So I expect you're included as a manager. But yes, we should have a calendar now. A lot of these social learning things are on the Divi calendar. They're not on the RChain calendar. Frankly, there hasn't been enough interest in the RChain community so far for the 2 p.m. Thursday session to warrant adding more to the RChain calendar. You know, if we get specific people involved in like the Rolang to on RChain project, for example, if we get, you know, we can set up a work study for that, or a social learning session for that. So far, I guess to see if somebody will post that or.
Jim, since this is just me thinking out loud. Since our storage layer is going to be released before Mercury, hey, HDay calendar for all meeting. Is there some sort of way to get so not only rolling programs on HoloChain, but also those ports, those storage devices that are attached to RChain? Or is that like a little too in their face?
That's you know, that's certainly a possibility that's been discussed, and we probably should have an issue when we get it up specifically on that.
Because if we could, yeah, I would like to investigate that further. I think it's a really smart idea that they did.
You know, in looking for the idea storage layer for the social ledger, seeing how HoloChain could serve that purpose, but it led me to think that the Rolang storage layer would be superior. So that's a real interesting direction, and there's no reason it can't run on HoloChain and the Rolang storage layer and others. And in fact, the social ledger itself is being made back-end independent because we don't expect everybody is going to run just one system. And our communities have to interoperate.
Well, I've noticed that the influx of new people everywhere, and by that I mean on Telegram and Discord and the website, could be that we're going to have more contributors doing more things. So it would be good to prepare and get some of this infrastructure set up, like a common calendar, let's call it that.
Yeah, so essentially what's been going on is there's like different people have their own separate calendars, and what I think the easiest way to do it would be, I'm sorry all this noise, but is like a Gmail, like RChain calendar at gmail.com, and then do a Google calendar, and then we can have under that Gmail, just like a regular Google Calendar, there's my calendars. So I have like each label, and then we can do like speaking events, live stream meetings, meetups, conferences, you know, all as labels. Sorry about the noise.
No. Well, I completely agree. There is all kinds of stuff going on, and it could be that, yeah, people don't want to subscribe to absolute everything because it will fill up their calendar with events they're not interested in. But if they can subscribe to just, you know, like new meetings or just speaking events, if they're, you know, working on promotion or something like that would be great. That's a good point.
Right, and then what we can do is just create like calendar.rchain.coop and embed the Google Calendar as a page on the site. I don't think that's very difficult.
That would be very good. Okay. Who else? Jeremy here. Would you be Jeremy L? Maybe he's
correct. Yes, that's me.
That's you? Okay, so you're the one who found the poorly loading RChain site, right?
Yeah. I know Nash as well.
Ah, cool. Okay. So it wasn't a coincidence.
No.
Well, I still thought it was very nice that Patrick said, shoot me your ETH address.
Yeah, I'm glad about that.
Yeah, thanks a bunch. I'm going to do that actually right now too. Hopefully we can get it done live. Well, obviously not sharing information live, but I'm going to take care of that right now.
Cool. I'm a developer, so I'm planning on contributing to the project.
Great. What's your focus?
I'm just a full stack web dev. Been for a couple years now.
Okay. Well, I think full stack knowledge is definitely something that we need in terms of covering the bases. So that's great.
Cool.
So perhaps you'll help coach some of our social learning sessions.
Sure, why not? I also have experience with OAuth if you
Awesome.
Awesome. I know you guys mentioned that.
Terrific, Jeremy. Let's hook up, mate.
Sure.
Yeah, on Saturdays, there's an identity meeting, which has been going on for a long time. And there we kind of keep up to date with the ever-changing landscape of identity and OpenID and OAuth and sovereign, and the list goes on and on and on, but it's a very interesting area. So if you're interested, there's definitely some overlap there. And yeah, Jim is kind of the core organizer of those efforts. So you guys should connect.
Cool. Yeah, where's the link for that posted?
What's that?
Where's the link for that posted, that meetup?
I'll give him a link to the.
Actually, I just had the log there, so. Okay, we'll see if Gary beats me to it.
I'm getting the link, the invite to the DiviDAO server, or the DiviDAO domain on the Mattermost server. That's where the meetings take off from.
Okay.
You mean the bring your own identity domain?
Oh yes, I'm right. You're right, Jim.
Okay, well, Jeremy, I just pasted the log for the meetings, and the log contains links to lots of other stuff.
Okay.
And it's the meetings are at 11 o'clock New York time. Are you in Seattle, West Coast?
Yeah.
Well, then it'll be an early Saturday morning for you.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. I don't have much going on Saturdays.
Okay, well, yeah, hopefully you're a morning person.
Yeah, it's Friday night. That's the problem.
And that's the invite to the Bring Your Own ID domain on the Mattermost server.
Cool.
Yeah. We like Mattermost, so we're making the most of it, using it often. And
it's where we're deploying the social ledger project as well. So which we intend to expand to all kinds of platforms.
Very cool. So it's a Slack alternative.
Well, it's slash command that runs on top of Slack type systems.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and you'll get to play with it. What if you join our server over there?
Awesome. Yeah, I'll look into that before the meeting on Saturday.
Cool.
Okay. Well, we can still walk through some of these points here, but I wanted to show something that one of our contributors did, and he's probably asleep right now because he's based in Beijing, but this is the FAQ in Chinese. So I'm really happy with this. This was done by Andy Lee. And well, if you move through it, then you see some stuff you recognize. And if you hover over links, then you recognize the links. But there it is, all in Chinese. And there's still bits and pieces of English. I actually added the Telegram channel, and I realized that we didn't have the Chinese QQ channel. So those are still in English, waiting for Andy to translate it. But once we get this fully polished, then we'll move this into slash reference and do a pull request. But I'm trying to get Andy up to speed with GitHub and Markdown and stuff. So no rush, small steps. It's that's the way to go with these things. So that's happening. And what else? Yeah, in GitHub, if I jump up to the issues here, you notice that I keep my GitHub in night mode because I am a morning person and I get up early and I just cannot deal with white screens. So having it in night mode means that some things, they show up really well. Like our new tags here, these and these. So we now have categorization within the issues. And the, come on.
Yeah, I don't think I've done all of them yet, but those will be all done probably today.
Okay. Well, the great thing about these things is, one, you have this letter here, which gives a hint. But when you're in GitHub, you can click on one of them. So if I click on marketing, it's a filter. So these are all the marketing issues. And then you can see that there's overlaps with a few things like governance. And if I click on governance, we'll see much less. And click on operations, then we see more. So this is a really handy feature in terms of keeping the overview on everything that's going on. And yeah, I mean, if you edit an issue, then you can see all the options here. And the categories, they all have a capital and white letters. And then there's other ones that are kind of floating around here, like invalid and won't fix, which are kind of artifacts, but we're we're leaving them for now. So this works really well, and it's something we're going to continue with. Yeah, HJ is on the road, so I'm just going to play his role and say, in a couple of days, the invoices, the automatically generated invoices for the contributors will arrive, and you should not waste any time in getting those things, well, either sent or cut and pasted and sent. So some people like myself, I actually work via my one-man company. So I take the generated invoice and I copy all the tasks and I paste them into our company letterhead invoice, and then I send that up there. And yeah, for people like Ojimadu and your friend who just joined, I noticed that HJ added this, which is when you fill in that tax form for aliens, you don't have to fill in, what is it, a tax identification number. You can just write not legally required and exempt. So you just have to fill in a couple of fields and you're done. And then there's no confusion over exemptions or things like that for non-US residents we're talking about. And yeah, I don't see Kevin here, but Kevin has been steering the governance conference stuff, and so that is in play. And we really need people to participate and contribute. So have a look in Discord and have a look in GitHub at these, where is it? These governance things.
Hey guys, I'm gonna take. I actually have to use the bathroom. To be 100% honest, I'm gonna take off a little bit early, and I'll see you guys on the next hangout. But
yeah, that's fine.
We'll keep it going. All right, cheers.
Cheers. Actually, that's exactly my plan. I want to try to round this off fairly soon so that we can take a break before the next one. And I think we're almost there. RChain dates, legal things. Yeah, I think we're good. Anybody else had something? Well, if not, then why don't we shut this down, and then we can take a break before the weekly debrief session. Gives us time for a cup of coffee or a beer or whatever, depending on your time zone.
I should have asked people to who we should get in the colloquium. We have Digital Life Collective, governance folks that will participate. We have RChain and Metacurrency people that will participate, as well as the New Earth Alliance. The question is, what what communities can we connect? Should we connect to in the governance colloquium of communities that are all facing the same issues we have of defining a non-hierarchical governance structure.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there that we can learn from.
Yeah. Well, Greg suggested, bringing people together that were, I guess, working on the same issues here. And
yeah, it's open source. It's open intellectual property. We can't be the first ones trying to figure it out. So I'm sure there's others out there that have already done a lot of thinking that we can use, and we should find that and apply it to our governance activity. And I know there's been a bunch of stuff posted, so personally, I haven't had the chance to research it that much, but it's on my to-do list. And it's also something that needs to happen soon, right? I mean, if you look at the calendar, we need to get these things hammered out in the next couple of weeks in order to get properly prepared for the conference, right?
Yes. And we have people in Dig Life and RChain and other areas who are asking the same questions, looking for the same resources, etc. So I want to bring as many of those folks together before the meeting as possible. And we will have some scheduled meetings where we'll invite, in essence, panels from the different communities to discuss the issues of and ideas that are emerging in this area.
Okay. Do you know the 7 Ps? Prior preparation prevents piss poor performance. That's what we need. We need to get that rolling. Okay. I'm about to sign off. Some of you in Telegram and or Discord may have noticed that there's another exchange which we are get a big exchange in China, and we can vote. So this is the page, and I'll paste it in the log. And when you go to the page, well, it's in China, so it's all in Chinese, but it's really easy. You scroll all the way to the bottom and you click on this blue button here, and then you vote. So right now I see that we have 170 votes. And we need like 1,000 or so, more than that. So everybody please take a moment and go there and vote for the rock. And then maybe we can get it on this Chinese decentralized exchange. So please do that now during the break, huh? Okay, let's wrap it up. And I'll see you guys in the deep. Ciao.